Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to speak about judicial authority. We are going to start with one interesting task. You have to match the person with what he or she does. So, a judge, a prosecutor, and an advocate. So, you have to match what each person does. Think, take 1 minute or two to think, match, and after that we are going to check again. Let us check. So, a judge hears and decides cases in a law court. A prosecutor starts legal proceedings against somebody. And an advocate speaks in court in favor of a person. You did a great job, so let us continue. As you know, all the time when we are supposed and we are going to read the text, we have to find out and to discover new words that are going to help us to understand the following text better. If you are ready, let us start discovering the new words. The first word is court, a building where trials or other legal cases happen. Entitle, to give someone the right to do something. Submit, to give, offer something for a decision to be made by others. Foster, to encourage the development or growth of ideas or feelings. Now, if all the words are understandable to you and you got the idea, let us do the reading thing. And the text is the cornerstone of any democratic society. Every democratic state is concerned about the issue of an independent judiciary. Judicial independence is the concept that the judiciary needs to be kept away from the other branches of government. That is, courts should not be subject to improper influence from the other branches of government or from private or partisan interests. Judicial independence is vital and important to the idea of separation of powers. In accordance with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the principle of the independence of the judiciary entitles and requires the judiciary to ensure that judicial proceedings are conducted fairly and that the rights of the parties are respected. It also stipulates that judges shall always conduct themselves in such a manner as to preserve the dignity of their office and the impartiality and independence of the judiciary. Thus, the independence of the judiciary presupposes a high standards of morality on the part of the judges. In the Republic of Moldova, justice is administered by the Supreme Court of Justice, the Court of Appeal, by tribunals and the courts of law. The judges sitting in the courts of law are appointed by the President of the Republic of Moldova, following a proposal submitted to him by the Higher Magistrates' Council. The selection of judges must be based on qualification, honesty, competence, integrity, and experience. They are elected for a 5-year term. Judges sitting in the courts of law are independent, impartial, and irremovable under the law. The office of judge is incompatible with holding another public or private remunerated position, except in the area of teaching or scientific research. Independence is vital to fostering public confidence in the fairness and objectivity of the justice system. The public loses confidence if the judiciary fails to prove its independence through its mode of operation. Judicial independence is closely related to the judge's ability to apply the law appropriately. Ignorance leads to dependence. Now, my dear students, if everything was clear, let us state whether the statements below are true or false. The first one. The legislative and the executive branches should not control the judicial power. True or false? Of course, this is true. Judges should be impartial. Yes, you're right. This is also true. Judges should demonstrate a high standard of morality. And again, this sentence is true. In the Republic of Moldova, justice is administered by the parliament. And you are right, this is false. Judges in Moldova are elected for a 6-year term. Yes, you are right, this is false. Because according to the text, judges in Moldova are elected for a 5-year term. The office of judge is not compatible with holding another public or private remunerated position. So, you're right, this is true. Now, we are going to speak about a person that is very important, and sometimes you students choose to become lawyers when you grow and when you go to university. So now it's time for us, especially for those who want to become lawyers, to find out more about this job. And the task is, while we are reading, we have to fill in the gaps and find out more about this job. Let us start. The first part of the text should be fill in with the words meaning, law, license. I hope that you will need just 1 or 2 minutes to find the right place for these words, and now it's time for us to check. A lawyer, also known as barrister, attorney, or solicitor, is someone who practices law. A lawyer has earned a degree in law and has a license to practice law in a particular area. The meaning of the term lawyer may vary from place to place. The second part of the text should be filled in with contracts, crimes, attorneys, and civil. Take a few minutes, think, and then we are going to check. Are you ready? The majority of attorneys work in private practice focusing on criminal or civil law. Lawyers practicing criminal law represent people charged with crimes. Lawyers specializing in civil law help clients draft wills, set up trusts, draft contracts, and assist with numerous other legal issues. The second part of the text should be completed with advice, clients, fee, voluntary, and law firms. Take please few minutes, pause this video if you need, and think about which word goes where in this text. And then we are going to check. Let us check. An important aspect of lawyer's job is developing managing relationships with clients. Lawyers are always free to form voluntary associations known as law firms. Attorneys generally charge a fee for the work that they do, but sometimes advice is offered freely. Now let us continue with the next part of the text, and you should use the following words: debt, litigation, represent, finance, and accused. Be so kind, take few minutes, pause this video if you need, and try to put the right words in the right place. Then we are going to check. Let's do it. In many cases, if a person is accused of a crime and unable to pay for a lawyer, the government will pay a lawyer to represent him using tax money. Some law firms in Moldova specialize in banking and finance, acquisitions and privatizations, debt collection, investment, family, litigation, and other spheres. So, my dear students, if you want to become lawyers, you should be aware of all these things. And don't forget, because finishing this lesson, I want you to remember the following. He that puts on a public gown must put off a private person. So, my dear students, have a nice day and don't forget, speak English and have fun. Goodbye.